Hello again. Welcome back, folks. It is I, DigiDriver, welcoming you back to my scenery deving in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today is Boxing Day, Monday, December 26th, 2022, and we are literally a little over 5 days away from kissing 2022 goodbye. Hopefully, you're all doing very well. I am back from my Christmas family times, and we're going to get back into some Blender and to some rendering in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Hopefully, we'll try to get the prototype for the Alpha 1 Flight Services building built today. We will see. We'll see how long it takes. We'll see how far we can get. But for now, let's go ahead and return to Plymouth Municipal Airport, Kilo Papa Yankee Mike, and we're going to go ahead and fire up the sim. I might not do real time because it is going to get dark pretty soon. I'll be on today for probably the better part of 2.5 to 3 hours, and then we'll transition back into the usual rotation, which is streaming on the weekends and potentially a weekday stream. I'm going to try to make that as much of a reality as I can, but I don't know. I think I might reserve weekdays for no mic scenery building time. But with that said, let's go ahead and load in. Hopefully you are all doing very well this afternoon. And I hope that your Christmas weekend was a great one. Now, last time I tried streaming was Friday, unless I missed my guess. So, unfortunately, we did get to a point where the power went out. Also, unfortunately, what happened was I lost the version of the sim that I was working on at the time. I'm sorry, not the sim, the Blender model. And I discovered that this afternoon when I loaded into Blender, it said there's some kind of missing DNA in the file. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to redo the arc in the arc the triangle thing in the roof of the hangar that I was working on for Alpha 1 Flight Services. But on the other hand, we didn't lose that much progress. Like I said, we just missed that piece that we want to work with. Also, I don't know why it's not there. There we go. Thank you. Go for it. Okay, good, good. For a moment while everything was loading, I didn't know if the other hangars were going to come into view. But yeah, here we are. Back to where we were last week, and we'll see what we can do. Now, I don't think I finished the render, so let's just experiment, make sure we can do what we can. I'm going to export what I currently have in Blender into the sim. That shouldn't be more than a few seconds. Alright, bin gltf and xml files. Let's copy them to the destination directory, and we will see the progress we've made so far. Okay, copying and pasting the files. You want to know what? Hold on. No, I'm not worried about it. If I have to go back, I can go back to the old version. And there we are. We have the bare bones skeleton of the entire thing here. I notice a slight difference in color and texture, lack thereof, since there isn't really texture, but the color here is different, which makes me think that I have not assigned a material to that building yet. So let me do that before I actually start remaking the roofing for these buildings. Oh, also that reminds me, let me open a browser and go back to the satellite view for this airport. That way I can get an idea of the layout. All right, there we go. I've got it on my screen. Let me go ahead and bring you guys over to Blender so you can see what I'm doing. And there we are. So we're looking at the vehicle side render of this, I believe. So you walk up here and then you go into the building. Let me double check. Yeah. The side where you drive up to it has a longer kind of yard than the side that faces the ramp and the airport. So let me take a look at the materials here. This has material. These actually don't have materials chosen. I see. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's see what we can do to get those roofs rebuilt, because I lost that. To do that, I'm going to go ahead and spin around, and I'm going to take a look at the smaller building first. Both of these have building roofs that kind of like point up in a triangle shape down the middle section here. So let's do this. Like I did before, I'm going to grab the floor and duplicate it. Unless, of course, there's a way that I can actually... Unless there's a way that I can actually extend the roof out beyond it naturally. That's an interesting question, because I usually wind up having problems with light going out the top. Maybe I'll try that today. Okay, so instead of duplicating the roof, and since I'm starting over anyway, let's try this. Let's see what we can do. Oh, that's not going to work because these walls are separate. Okay. Not going to stress about that too much. That's fine. For my sophomore release, I'm still working on, getting the kinks out of my development techniques anyway. So we're going to duplicate the floor and set it on the roof. And we will relabel this. But I almost wonder if it's easier for me to start over. Almost. For this building, no. But going forward for scenery development, I'll try to pay more attention to the way that I render things. And if you're watching on the live or the replay, Wombi, thank you so much for your help. I'm actually opening up my my Discord channel so that I can see the things that you showed me. Okay. Shouldn't take me very long to get this loaded, folks. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. Just got it. Beautiful. Also, folks, if you want to take a look at other flight sim streamers doing their thing right now, my friend Complete Freedom is flying something called the Cannonball Run from JFK to LAX. They are flying a single engine piston aircraft, and they have to abide by certain, I guess, rules of engagement, but they're currently flying right now. If you ever feel like stopping into Complete Freedom's channel, there's a link right there. Now, in the meantime, let's get this roof pulled up. And now I can put it right about here. Exactly where it's placed is not necessarily going to be a problem. I'm going to also, I think, scale it a little bit. Let's see, can I do that? I'm going to use the blue square that you see where my mouse is pointing to expand it a certain way. But at the same time, I usually just do it in tenths, so I'm not worried about expanding it as long as I get a good idea of how the expansion works. So we're getting really up close and personal here. Okay, so a whole tenth is a bit much. So let's do 100th and see if that works. Yeah, still too much. How about a quarter? That's fine. There we go. So we're going to add 23.25. Oh, excuse me. 23.025. That's what I wanted. So just enough to go over the edge. And that's probably the measurement I'm going to use from now on, unless, of course, everything's tied together, which I think is probably going to be the way I'll need to do buildings in the future. Hello, Hawker. Good afternoon, my friend. It's very good to see you. I am back to Scenery Dev. Unfortunately, the power outage that I had last time made me lose some progress, but we're back at it and I've got some new ideas. Folks, if you haven't already done so and you like flight sim and seeing people fly flights, go ahead and check out Hawker 125's channel on Twitch. Hawker, let's see, do you have a highlight on your channel? Oh, I completely forgot. Hawker's building a home built Hawker cockpit for streaming. So yeah, Hawker, feel free to put anything up in chat that might help people follow the build process along. Welcome aboard, Pavlin. It's good to see you. I was hanging out with you over in Complete Freedom's stream earlier today, and now I am streaming myself. But don't mind my voice. I want to make sure I do not overstretch myself. Folks, here is the link to Pavlin's page on Twitch. Pavlin is between sims at the moment, getting some logistical PC building issues out of the way. Should be back to flight simming soon, but Pavlin has been doing some... Oh, what? Ha! Well, that would be a problem, wouldn't it? Yes, let me give you guys the proper link. This is just the formality, folks. My apologies. Matter of fact, can I get rid of that message? There we go. That's the proper link to Pavlin. That's on Twitch, though. Pavlin does have some ventures going on YouTube at the moment. Pavlin, feel free to provide links to our friends in chat so that they can see what's going on with your channels. Also, Pavlin did recently release a amazing, wonderful classical piece for the Christmas season. So, by all means, share away, my friend, share away. Okay, now, back to the program here. I'm going to bend this in half, so to speak, and we're going to loop this up. Oh, before I forget, the bottom of this does not have a face. So, let me go ahead and do that first. I need to grab the bottom edge of either side, and then I can build the roof by joining those two pieces together, which I just did, and then we can bend everything up and out. Now I think we're good. All right. So a quick loop cut and blammo. Now, I have a very non-scientific approach, so maybe what I can do is actually figure out a better approximation of a y value. So probably instead of 9878, so we take away 2/10. There we go. That's a nice digital number instead of approximating. Oh, well, that's interesting. Weird. I didn't know you can actually right click on that. Oh, okay. I accidentally clicked on something. I see. Okay, so we've got the roof bend for this building, and let's go ahead and make these edges line up. I should be able to do a loop cut. Okay, only problem is it's going to loop cut the entire thing. Am I worried about that right now? I don't think so. Worst case scenario, I just have to get rid of a bunch of segments, but I'm not worried about it. Oh, before I do that, let me go ahead and get rid of these faces because they're not going to be seen. That would be beneficial. The less you have to render, the more VRAM you have available, right? Now, can I join those two vertices? I should be able to. Let's go to vertex mode, pick you, join you. There we go. There's that line we were looking for. Now I can choose that line and bring it all the way up to the top. And we can pull this up. And if I go up in here, I'll be able to see when it pierces through. I want to make sure this goes all the way up to the top. It doesn't have to go up above the roof, but I definitely want this to not be underneath it. Although it does look like it will be. Hang on, let me see something. I was pulling that segment, so the rest of it should have come up as well. Yeah, actually, that's what I think I need to do. I need to pull the other segments up into the roof as well. Okay, all right, that makes things a little bit easier for me because now I know what I want to do. Okay, so it should just go about a third of the way in, not break through, not be halfway, be about here. That's just how I roll. Now, let's see if we can do this without making things look ugly. Oh, I think I want to be inside the wall. If I do this right, this should get rid of any kind of missing segment in here. Yeah, and it's not going to be perfect. This is just me making it look nice. In the future, I will endeavor to build buildings a little better. And up it goes. Okay, so this is in the wall. Let's lower it a little bit. Yep, there we go. So now none of that is showing up under the roof panel. But of course, there's only one side. So how do I fix the problem? That's a good point. I guess I will... It's probably easier for me to grab the face first and pull it up. And then I can get rid of the face once it punches through the hole in the roof, so to speak. Okay, that'll do. Get rid of that. All the way up. Oh, did I get rid of the face? I did. I did. Good. I'll probably move this up first before I delete the face. I goofed something up here. There we go. That's fine. So how is everybody doing today? Did you guys have a good Christmas or a good Hanukkah? Are you looking forward to New Year's Eve? Any celebrations you're planning? I am probably going to have a quiet Christmas Eve with family, maybe one or two friends. And then I will be at church the next morning. And then the year begins in earnest. And hey, hopefully lots to do, but we'll see what happens. Let's go up in the roof and see if everything looks good. Okay, it just barely broke through. I'd like it to be a bit further in. There we go. Also, am I missing something? This looks bizarre. Oh, that's because I was actually inside that piece. I get it. There's a face there. Okay. Doesn't have to be that high up, Digi. Bring it down. Yeah. Even further might be better. Alright. Let's bring the other side of the face up. The edge should be good. That should be fun. Oh, and since it is fine, let's just go ahead and get rid of the face. There we go. Other face is there. It needs to be lifted up. You're looking forward to the new year? I'm glad. I'm glad. Um, yeah, I don't know if it was anybody else, but I did notice that my Christmas went by really, really quickly. I'm not gonna lie. Unfortunately, we had a sad thing happen. Had to say goodbye to somebody that we cared about a lot. But we did our best to honor their memory and to spend time together over the past few days. And hopefully, we have also birthed what could be the start of some new Christmas traditions, too. So, in a situation like that, you do the best you can. And I think we might have started something, you know, cooler than what we had. Well, excuse me, not cooler, but definitely started something new. Okay, I think we're almost done here. I just need to bring the other faces up. So, I'll just grab this face as a whole. Oh, excuse me. There we go. Grab this face as a whole and bring it in through the roof. And just a quick check to make sure it's over. Yeah, that's it. We'll get rid of the face and blammo. That's it. So now we have things set and hopefully they'll look great. Let me do a save and we'll select everything. Oh, excuse me. We'll select everything and we will export into the sim, see what it looks like. And this is probably going to be the last time that I build a hangar that looks like it does now. I'll try to learn how to build these with better. What's the phrase that I'm looking for? Better dexterity. Well, I'll try to be wiser when I build them. And okay, the roof is on. Let's go ahead and take a look at it in the sim. Thank you, friend. I can very much tell you it is not going to be an easy next set of days and weeks and months, but I'm glad that we were able to get together and to give them, I don't know, I guess a fitting remembrance, a fitting tribute. There's a lot of stuff here. Let me go ahead and can I make it all go away? Okay, that's better. No textures are on this yet, but there we go. That's one of them. I just need to duplicate it on this one, and then we can do something similar here. Okay. And since I'm not doing anything else with any of the buildings for now, let's keep the editing polygons out of the picture. Let's go ahead and go back to the Blender. Yeah, this is true. This is true. I need to learn to get out of my own way and really do the best I can to make buildings and keep learning. To learn, you kind of got to fail. But there we go. That's one. I'll do the same thing with this building and with this one because this is actually a combined deal. I'll have to think on my feet a bit more, but I'm looking forward to the challenge. Let's go ahead and duplicate this like we did with the other building. And lift it and do things. Okay, this time I'll try to keep the roof closer to the actual walls. All right, a quick kind of... Yeah, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. I was looking for a kind of making sure that the roof base was at the same place where this was. That's good enough for me. So, satellite picture tells me that it's the same way. It faces the arch, the arch, the point faces down the middle, like the other building does. All right, so let's go ahead and do the things. All right, so like we did before, go into edit mode, select the face, do a loop cut down the middle. Oh, actually, hold on. I need to stop that because, like before, we didn't provide a bottom for this. Which is kind of cool. Like, you know, we got rid of some unused or non-visible faces. Click that, duck down a bit, and then you'll see, poof, there we go. One extra face, and now we can do the things. Now the loop cut will loop the bottom edges as well. So now I can select the whole thing again. No, no, no. Give me the roof. Go to edit mode. Top face. Loop cut. And, well, excuse me, it didn't work. Try it again. There we go, it's better. And I'll make this 0.78 as well. Just a nerdy way of saying I'm going to lift it by that much and try to keep it consistent. Aeroflyer, hello my friend, very good to see you. Welcome aboard. And Honker, enjoy the lurk. Hopefully that keep you at least somewhat entertained as we proceed. We are continuing to build the Alpha 1 Flight Services building. Unfortunately, I was trying to do this on Friday and I lost power. Also, unfortunately, the what I call it, the version or the revision of the building I was working on, I couldn't reopen. So I lost some of the progress I made. So today we're making that progress up. Hopefully, Aeroflyer, you and many more of my friends and family have had a very good Christmas holiday weekend. I am doing some scenery dev today and will be for the next probably 2.5 hours before we call it a stream today, and then transition back into doing some work, and we'll see. So we've got this to the point where it looks nice, and now we just need to do what we did with the other building, which is basically fix all the things. What I'll probably do is take the outer edges, or take the flat edges that we don't have to bend in half first. That should probably make things easier on me, and also give me a perspective on how high to lift these things. If you're confused, you're like, what is he doing? Essentially, I just have like a series of techniques that I've learned or taught myself to build things, which I'm using to actually raise the walls and tie everything together. But don't worry, I shouldn't take too much longer to get the basic skeleton in, and then we can start talking about maybe adding materials or adding some details to the building so they look like a hangar and an office. Thank you, Aeroflyer. We got to see my family, and I got to spend some time having some yummy dinner with them. I did travel a little bit, and I got back. The weather was cold, but it wasn't that bad. On Friday, in my neck of the woods, it was absolutely bitter. Really cold, really windy. Lost power for a good chunk of the day into the night, but we got it back, thankfully. Praise the Lord. And yeah, I'm here now. I'm doing scenery dev, and we're going to do what we can to get this ready. Not ready, but to do as much as we can today. Reasonably. Also, there were some other airports that I got told to me over the weekend, so I'm adding them to the to the ever increasing list, which is funny and great at the same time. Okay, now those walls are inside, and now what we can do is bend these things up so that they actually go inside the roof piece as well. Digi, I have no clue what you're doing. It's okay, I barely do myself. Lel. I'm using a program called Blender. Blender is a 3D graphics program, but I mean, saying Blender is just a 3D graphics program is basically doing it a disservice. It can do a lot more as well. So let's just say what I'm using it for right now is to create things like buildings for Flight Sim. Okay, now is there Z fighting here? There might be. There might be. I can't tell. It looks like there's just a touch of it, so I don't know if this needs to be moved in or out a little bit. Let's see. How are we looking? I don't think I pushed this out. Oh, no, I did. I did. Maybe I can push this wall out a little bit more. Alright, which number changes when I move it? It's the X number that changes. Got it. So, a tenth is way too much. So by process of elimination, 100th is probably going to be too much. Let's do 5,000th. That's still too much. Wow. So let's try a quarter of a thousandth. I like it, but it's too much. Okay. A an eighth of a thousandth. Actually, that is still too much. All right. So let's see. 0.625. Okay, that should be just enough to get rid of the Z fighting issues that we had up here. Now, only problem is that the roof is also now just a bit further, not recessed, but it's not as far as I'd like it to be. However, I'm not going to worry about that. Do I want to make it the same exact way that it was out here? Actually, it turns out I'm probably going to run into the same problem out here. So I'm going to keep things the way they are, and this has been recessed forward a 16th of a thousandth. Yes, that's tiny, but hopefully that's not going to present an issue, and now we can bend this up. And we'll also see whether or not the roof doesn't or does still cover it all. All right, tab for edit mode, select that line, lift it up, and yeah, it doesn't disappear inside of it, so it does look like it's out just a touch. Can we recess it a thousandth the other way? Excuse me, a 16th of a thousandth. Theoretically, I think we can. Let's try it. So, all right. No shame breaking out the calculator for this. 11, let's see. Hold on. 11.4 minus 0.000. So that's the thousandth. 625. So it's 11,399,375. Let's see if that makes sense. 11, 399, 375. Why so much focus on small numbers? Well, because if we can get texture shimmering to go away by making sure textures don't sit in the exact same Y plane, then we can prevent that problem from happening. Also, we're going to adjust that again by a little bit. So now we're going to go with 39875. 11, 39875. All right. Now try it again. Still a little too close. All right. We'll try it again. 398,125. Good. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Okay. A little too close. Let me go ahead and lower my point of view. Let's pull it up. Okay, great. Let's pull the other side of it up. Go inside the wall here. Unfortunately, I don't think me recessing these inside of this polygon is going to help eliminate some of the problems with light bleeding through. But like Honker said before, I am trying to learn new things, and hopefully that means that I'll be able to apply the lessons from what I've learned to this. Now, unlike the other walls that I've done before, I think I'm going to have to keep this face in because it's bleeding out. The alternative would be to move the roof piece over the edge of it. So let me try doing that. Let me think. Yeah, so let me do this first. Stop. Grab the edge, get rid of it. I'm sorry, grab the face and get rid of it. Now you see that hole? We're going to cover it up by stretching the roof out this way. Let's see, what is that? All right. Yeah, we'll need to be very selective. Minus 1.0005. Oh, wow, that's a lot. Minus 1.000625. Oh, no, that's still too much. Nope, we need it to be a bit more. Minus 1.00025. And that's okay for me. Okay, so I can do the same thing with the other side. .00025, and then we have an edge that we can lift this into. So that works. And I'll grab this edge. That's what has to be lifted. There we go. Should be good enough. Let's take a look. In a sense, I'm kind of pretending I'm inside the roof because I want to make sure that we don't have any obvious bleed through of light up on the top. There is going to be some bleed through of light, unfortunately, just due to the build process, but there shouldn't be too much. There should not be too much. Now we can select that face and get rid of it. The fewer faces we have to render, the better it's going to be. Okay, now, am I doing something wrong here? No, I don't think so. How about the other side? Yeah, this has to be lifted up. All right. Hey, complete freedom. Hello. Sorry I missed your chat. And Sky Command, hello friend. I sold out. Sky Command, I hope you're having a very good day and that your Christmas weekend was wonderful. I got to spend some time with family and I got to eat some good food. Matter of fact, I think Mrs. Digi and I are trying to grab something for dinner tonight later after we go say hi to some folks. But I'm doing some more scenery dev in Plymouth, and we're working on the building that I was trying to build on Friday, but I lost power. So we are rebuilding the building. So we're rebuilding the building. Yes, I did say that. All right, let me do a loop cut and get this ready to go. So easiest thing for me to do is to lift this piece up into the roof part, and then we're going to do the same with the edges. And what I'll probably need to do is select both edges this time, save myself some difficulty. Right about there. All right, lift. There we go. That should be more than enough. All right, now does this need to be extended above it? I don't know. Maybe, maybe. Oh yeah, see that line? I wonder if that was an issue. I mean, yes, that line is there, but I'm saying um, maybe I need to move the roof out a little bit more. I like there being a little bit of an overlap on the roof pieces. I thought I fixed that before. I forgot. All right, we'll move this out a 16th, just a touch, just a touch, and we'll see. And maybe a Phenom flight sometime before the new year. Um, I'm sorry I missed that much just before, Honker. I am wondering if I want to buy an aircraft for X-Plane 12. I think the Aerobask Phenom 300, was it Aerobask that made the Phenom 300 for X-Plane 11? I have some jets, but some of the or most of the jets that I have, the biz jets, I don't think have received XP12 updates yet. I haven't tried installing the RW Designs Citation Mustang biz jet into X-Plane 12. I tried putting the D10 Challenger, the 300, not the 650, and it didn't want to work. So, you know, a little sad, but we'll see what we can do. Meanwhile, I am possibly making people dizzy here. Oh, try it again. All right, great. Yeah, so let's move these out. Just a teensy distance. Yeah, just enough. Just enough to get past the wall. I just had a kind of funny thought. The the copyright free music that I'm playing right now, the kind of like guitar slash drum beat that's happening right now reminded me a little bit of The Secret of Monkey Island. This Anybody else used to play old computer games back in the day? Things from companies like LucasArts and Sierra Online. Some of those things have made their way to goodoldgames.com, which is a great repository for old computer games. All right, now I'm going to double check. I'm going to grab both edges this time to stop myself from wasting time. And we will see whether or not they lift in nicely. It's hard to see it from this angle. Oh wow, that was that was very fast. All right. I'm kind of walking the polygons to make sure nothing bleeds through. Ooh, there we go. Narrowing. Boom. Beautiful. I think we're actually good here. All right. Deleting faces as we go to save on rendering things that we don't need to, that we're not going to see. And get rid of that. There we go. Got rid of both sides, and that part's done. Got a slight gap, and go to the front of the building or the back of the building, your interpretation. And that's also done too. Sweet. Now we just need to do the same with this piece. So select everything and save. Downwind Sim, hello friend. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. Folks, where are my manners? Where are my manners? By all means, if you have not already done so, take advantage of my my blabbing to pay a visit to some folks online. Sky Command is a variety streamer that does tend to do flight sim quite a bit. Feel free to pay him a visit. And Downwind Sim is a friend of the channel also. So feel free to pay Downwind Sim some patronage as well. Glad to have you guys along as we do some scenery dev to wrap up the Christmas season and to move on into hopefully a very prosperous and very successful new year for lots of my friends. We are going to put a roof on this charter terminal slash school thing, and because I kind of build the walls off of the floor, I don't think moving the floor up to the roof is going to be necessarily a good thing. How can I fix this? How can I fix this? Think, Digi, think. Think. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to extrude and stretch out a roof using these walls. Oh, no. Wrong tool. There we go. We're going to extrude a roof, insert a face at the top. Yeah. Well, that'll probably be the absolute easiest way to go. I would still have to extrude the face. So let me see. This is what we're going to do. We're going to create the first face. Am I doing something wrong? No, this is edit mode. That's object mode. Why am I selecting using this? No. I want a different kind of selection. Select box. There we go. That's better. Good. Let's select these edges. All right, one edge, other edge. Should be able to create the first piece with no difficulty. Bam, there we go, piece one. And I might be able to extrude the roof quickly. So let me see. Just a basic extrusion. Let's see what that develops. Okay, so we have a roof about yay big. All right. Now, what happens when I pull the faces out? Interesting. Hold on. Does it actually move the wall out? Yes, it does. Interesting. A little weird. A little weird. Which is kind of what I was watching out for. Um, think, Digi. Well, okay. Let me back up. All right. Now, if I don't extrude this and pull it up, what happens? Ah, this is nice. This is nice. Okay. Um, Let me worry about things like gutters and overhangs later. And let me just focus on how nice it is to be able to pull this out. What I can probably do is take this, because what did I do? I pulled the walls up. So maybe instead of pulling the walls up, I extrude all the faces into a different object. Yeah, I feel like doing that. Then we have a nice kind of like separation. Listen to Digi talk like he knows what he's talking about, man. Hmm. All right, so all the top faces have been chosen. What I can probably do is extrude them and then mess around with that. Detach, edit, reattach. There's a million ways to get to the end of a blender. I'm discovering that. So if I extrude all the edges, then there we go. Now we have a separate piece, which I'm probably going to call the roof. And let's dip into here a little bit. Okay, one thing I've noticed is that there is no face here. I took these faces away. I might keep them. I might keep them that way. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, because there is no roof piece here. But there's no need for a roof piece here, for a divider here. But there's going to be a need for a roof here. So let's do this. I'll dip into here, create another piece for the roof. Select that. Should have the other side still selected. Good. Join. Oh, excuse me. There we go. I was in navigation mode. I was like, wait, why isn't it working? Because I was moving the mouse. Okay, great. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. So I am going to do this. I already have the bottom piece selected. I'm going to Do that. Oh no, wait, wrong thing. Do that. That. I might join those faces, but I'm not sure right now. Do that, do that. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Slowly, slowly. I need that piece too. Because this will be the roof piece. And the same thing at the other edge. And I want this top part as well. Okay. There we go. So now I've chosen all the faces of this new roof that we've created. So now I can separate it into a new object. All right, so P, we're going to separate the selection, and we're going to call this Charter Terminal Roof. Okay, wonderful. So we deselect, we go back into object mode, there's the roof, and essentially I have this chosen, and if we get rid of it, the entire roof should go off and you should see open walls here. And look at that, there we go. Holes on that side. The only thing I don't see is a hole on that side. Oh, no, wait, I do. There we go. Yeah, there we are. So the roof is in place. And now we can split it down the middle, but not down like we've done these walls, down the spine, I guess you could say. There we go. Pick the face. I want these faces as well. And I can do the same thing here. I don't know if choosing faces means you get to choose where the loop cut goes. It's probably not going to work that way, but we'll try it anyway. All right. Okay. Perfect cut down the middle. Did it go underneath? It did not. That's fine. Let's pick this bottom piece here. Loop cut that. I want to tie both of them together. They need to be together because they're both going to bend. Unless I just don't care. I could leave the bottom piece flat and then just arc the roof inside here. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't have any pics of the interior of this building, so I could probably just stick with what I'm doing and maybe add a thin two-dimensional slab, which would be the drop ceiling. I think I'm okay with that. Because the roof as it stands is probably too high for the normal building. This is a 4 meter high wall roughly. So 4 meters about 12 feet. You figure a typical room in a house or an apartment, it's probably going to be 9 to 10 feet tall. So 12 is just a bit too far up. So if you put a drop ceiling in around like maybe 8.5, 9 feet, then there's still like 3 feet to go. So yeah, I'm going to select that and we're going to tie those two pieces together. And we're going to do that. How are we going to do that? We're going to do that by selecting all these edges. I have to go to the end here. tricky and confusing. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, I want this. I want this too. Thank you. And it's going to be a little weird. But I want this as well. No, not you. I want the other things. There we go. I want you. Which I think should be enough. I think. All right, let's roll with it. Choose that. Scroll into the wall a little bit. This might actually work. We'll see. All right, lift all this up. Like 0.15 more is what that is. So what about 0.2? 0.2 is actually good. So 22642. That's just enough of a pitch line for me to look nice. And how does this look? It does not look bad on the inside. It affected the wall, I think, slightly, but both walls are recessed into the empty space between this building and the hangar. So, again, not a bad thing. Not a total loss whatsoever. And this gives me an opportunity to fix this because I don't need these anymore. Let's get rid of the faces. And yeah, kids, remember, the less you have to render, the better your VRAM or your GPU will be. Your VRAM will thank you. All right, faces are gone. Okay. Question. Is that a hole? Yes, it is. Okay, good. Good. So I think we are exactly where we want to be. The only thing that I'd probably change would be joining these pieces, these inset pieces, back into this. So let me see if I can do that really fast. Okay. Okay, that's the roof. We will join these pieces together. Can I join just these two? Let's see. How would I do that? Right click? Not inset. Control J? No. Or can I just get rid of that line? Can I dissolve that edge? Let's dissolve it. Yeah. Bye. There's no need for that edge anymore. At least I don't think there's a need for it. Okay. I think we're actually looking pretty good. Now, before I move on, let me go ahead and save and probably render it to the sim, just so we can take a look at it. Well, I'm kind of glad that we had to re-render this. It is interesting. It is definitely interesting, Aeroflyer. Let me export this again. And everything's selected. I should be able to copy the files over, and we'll show you what it looks like in the zip. Thanks. All right, copying this into the output directory. And bam. And I'm going to do a build while you guys aren't looking so that I can save the progress that we've made so far. And I know I keep saying this, I think at some point soon I'm going to want to spend more time in the X-Plane world editor as well. I'm just trying to figure out the process and the time to do it because I want to finish Plymouth very, very, very soon. I would have wanted it to be done before Christmas, but unfortunately, um, life presented itself. But let me show you what the building looks like right now. Fair warning, it's not impressive, but it is a polygon, and I am happy with that. Now, let's take a look at something that interests me. Okay, this is superimposed on the floor. I'm getting bleed through here. Am I going to worry about it? No. I'm not selling the scenery for a lot of money, so I'm not worried about it. I think what's probably happening is that the inside of this, and it's going to be very difficult for me to see because I don't have as much precision as I normally have when I'm using Blender. The inside of these walls, I think, are like paper thin, so the light's coming through, but I'm not worried about it. One thing I need to do, though, of course, before we start getting very detailed, is to build exclusion polygons, weather exclusion polygons, so that when it rains, it doesn't rain inside, and when it snows, it doesn't actually accumulate. But one thing I can easily do is this. So I can go into the assets folder. I can pick the alpha 1 area, and I can make sure no snow is selected. It is selected, so that's good. I like it. It's coming along. And like I said, it's about this is basically about like head level. And yeah, there it is. So it's actually not that bad inside. A drop ceiling will probably be closer to the very top, and a drop ceiling might actually help with some of the light that's bleeding through. But again, I mean, this is only the second scenery that I'm going to be releasing as payware, so there's a lot that I have to learn yet. Eventually, we are going to be dealing with the landscaping, so to speak. But before I forget, and to show you guys the process, I'll go ahead and add a material for weather exclusion. So if it rains, it doesn't rain inside. And the scenery's been saved, but let's add that. Let's add that polygon. Now, one easy way for me to do it is to do things like hiding the roofs, roofs, bark, the roofs of these buildings. So, oh, this also gives me another chance to double check that all of the walls have been have had their top faces deskinned, because these walls are now inside the roof panels on top. Those polygons are gone. I think it's safe to say we've cut down on some of the polygons that are here, so I'm happy about that. Now, what I can probably do is make these polygons be really, really simple. I'll make 3 different exclusion polygons for each instead of one major one, and maybe join it later, but we'll see what we can do. First off, we'll add a cube. There's the cube right there. We'll move it into place. We'll start with the middle building. And we will make this into green jello. I joke about stuff like that, but basically the material for it basically becomes green jello. And if you don't know what I mean, watch this. So we're going to say alpha 1 weather exclusion. And weather exclusion is a MSFS material called environment occluder. See how it turns into basically a jello jiggler? Basically, it is a a slime, for lack of a better phrase, and we are going to use it for the purpose of excluding the weather from inside the building. It can probably be 945 or not. Okay, how about 94? I want it to be inside the walls, not on the walls. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Hold on. I need the X position for this to be perfect. X and Y. That's going to save me some headache later. Okay, so I think we were where we need to be, and now we can use these measurements. Bam. Okay, and the roof we hit for this, I may need to actually replace. Show again, excuse me. Well, actually, Aeroflyer, that's different. That's different. You're talking about the way that rain falls on windshields? This prevents rain from falling in the buildings. You can add a windshield effect to windows so that when it rains, if you're looking out from inside the building, you can see rain falling. It takes a little bit of dexterity to get it, mental dexterity, but it's cool when you do it. I might create a window real quick and show you, but I don't know if I have time to do that right now. Now, what is the... This is 3.96 for Z. All right, let's add that. And okay, and honestly, it needs to actually be a little bit wider too. That's interesting. All right. Yeah, yeah. The X coordinate was just a little bit off. So what's your X? Is it the Y that's off? It's the Y that's off. Got it. That's better. That's better. That should cover everything. Even a little bit inside the wall, that's fine. And what do I want to do? Oh, that's right. I wanted to show the roof because I wanted to actually be able to cover the inside of the roof. All right. Turn that roof back on. This one. And this one. Okay. All right. Here is where we do a little bit of work. All right. AOFS. What do we call that? Charter terminal weather exclusion. Okay. A little bit tricky, but not impossible. We'll move to the middle. And now we can go to edit mode, choose the top face. Are we not choosing the top face? Oh, we were choosing edges. Hello. There we go. Okay, that's the top face. And now we'll do a loop cut. The beautiful thing about loop cuts with Jello is that you won't really care about the other polygons. I mean, that's how I do it. Maybe I should care. And there we go. Like, don't freak out too much about it. But at the same time, you're going to be playing around with the edges on both sides. Oh, also, let's recess this polygon in a little bit more. Oh, wait, hold on. I thought we were checking the dimensions of it. Oh, that's the wrong dimension. Of course. 9.4. Remember how we were playing around with that number before? Okay, this is inside the walls. That's fine. Can you show me the edge? Not that edge. Should be an edge around here somewhere. There we go. That's the edge I'm looking for. And that one. Okay, now I have them both selected. I can lift them both up so that they actually look the way they're supposed to look. And it should fill in the rest of the crawl space. Digi, why in the world are you being so particular about this? Well, because I want to make sure that no weather gets in. Like, it's different if you want to simulate somebody having a window open and maybe cutting a piece of that exclusion rectangle out so rain falls in a window. But that's always up to you. Let's take a look at the terminal roof. And there you go. We just filled the charter terminal with jello. And this keeps it from raining inside the building and from snow falling through the roof inside the building when inclement weather is present. All right, so we're going to do the same with the other sections, and then we will have a very basic skeleton created. Okay, there we go. There's the roof. I will hide it for now and put some more jello in here. Let's go back to this mode so I can see the cube more easily. And there we go. Add another cube. Bam. And where's the cube? The cube is over there. Bring it over here, please. Beautiful. And we will call this AOFS. Wait. Was this the main hangar? Yes, that's what it's called. Main hangar. AOFS main hangar. Main hangar weather exclusion. Sometimes being wordy helps you out. Okay. Now, speaking of which, let me just make sure that the weather exclusion covers the floor completely. Yes, it does. Goes under the building, actually. We're not going to see that, but it's nice to know that it's actually there. Okay, good. All right, step one, make sure that it has the proper coordinates. So we will make sure X is 0 and Y is that. There we go, that's Y. And what is the Z coordinate for this? How high is this? 3 point something? So 3. Let's just start with, oh no, wait, I'm sorry. 6.68. Got it. Okay, and it's 23 by 30. $23 by $30. It's a big place. You're gonna fit more than a few planes in here, I think. Maybe 3, maybe even 4. Okay. Go in the wall. Oh, I'm looking at. Oh, of course I am. I didn't actually apply a weather exclusion filter to it, so to speak. There's the jello. Okay, it needs to be brought in a bit. So, X and Y. And we can bring the cube up. All right, and take a look underneath. It can go way higher. It can. Ithrig, welcome aboard, sir. Glad to have you here. Welcome, welcome, friend. We are doing Scenery Dev in FS 2020. But what you're looking at right now is Blender. Blender. We are creating a custom model for one of the hangars at Plymouth Municipal Airport, and I am in the process of adding some jello, aka a weather exclusion filter, so that when it rains and things like that, you don't have info. Yes, you are looking at a wall. The wall inside, actually no, the outside wall. We're going to go ahead and fix this so that this looks correct. But first thing we're going to do is split this thing down the middle and create a loop cut. Why we're making a loop cut? So that we can actually bend this the way we want it to go. So first thing we'll do, grab this edge, lift it up a touch, and if we do this correctly, it will line up with the actual roof, so it looks good. And if you want a more visual example, I will give you one as soon as I have this properly aligned. All right, so sit tight. Here we go. Lower those down. Yeah, so that looks decent. That looks decent. And if we actually re-show the roof and slide on down, there's a teensy part that actually gets covered by that. So if we're looking for absolute accuracy, you probably are going to see some raindrops go through it. That's fine, but you won't see raindrops go inside of it. Well, what do you mean, Digi? Let me show you. We haven't created a weather exclusion polygon for here yet, but I do want to sell you on the idea. So let me go ahead and remove that roof. Yeah, there's not one there yet. So we're going to render this. We're going to export it. Just takes me a few seconds, and then we're going to copy the file over and show you what it does. Copying the files now. Stand by. Okay, great. Let's show you what it looks like in the sim. You're trying to make a music box song, but you can't figure out a good melody. I would say ease into that, my friend. Take your time. Lord willing, the muse will strike, and you will get an idea. All right, so weather's actually pretty high pressure-y right now over in Massachusetts, but let's go ahead and simulate some rain. Or let's have some fun with this. Let's actually simulate some snow, which is more seasonal. Let's change the live weather to snow. And blammo. Okay. So for a start, you can see how these cars are covered with snow. But on the inside, oh no, wait, this is the wrong building. Wrong side. Ta-da! See? No snow. I still haven't figured out how to get rid of that weird weather effect with snow and lighting. But the snow isn't falling here. The snow isn't falling here. But the snow is falling here because we don't have a weather exclusion thing. Now, the inside of this can't really demonstrate the lack of, like the no snow option, but it is enabled. If we had snow, then this would be colored differently. But there you are. See, these are also excluded as well. I have a weather exclusion in these hangers. The outside shows it, like here, but the inside does not. Right about, wait, right about here? Yeah. Actually, I need to double check, because I think it stops it from falling, but is it because the door's open? That's strange. Actually, stand by one. Let me go ahead and see that these buildings actually have protection. I'm going to reopen one of those right now. And we will do... I think it's revision 10 for the old hangers. Stand by, folks. Which hanger is that? It is hanger type 1. Hanger type 1. And hanger type 1 is what? It's this. Okay, so it is revision 10. That's interesting. Am I doing something wrong with these exclusion polygons? Could be the wind as well. Could be. I'm not terribly concerned about it right now, so that's fine. But yeah. These are custom buildings. These are custom buildings. I don't care about whether or not it snows on the inside of these. I haven't made any interiors for them. They're basically rentals for people to store, I think, aircraft or aircraft parts. And this is what I'm working on right now. Oof, this makes me want to curl up with a cup of hot chocolate and some, either some popcorn or just some bread, some cheese, a charcuterie board perhaps. Nice. Okay. So, that is snow. Let me go ahead and put it back to live weather, and we will figure out some of the potential mysteries soon. But there you have it. That's what we have so far. I have to put an exclusion rectangle on the other building now, so we'll do that really quickly. Okay. And which one was it? I think it was the one the furthest out. This one. Yep, there we go. All right, let's add another cube. Okay, there it is, right there. Service hanger, so we'll call this cube AOFS Service Hanger Weather Exclusion. Nice wordy name. And we will give it the same x coordinates that we had. This is 0, 0, 3, so this should be 0, 0, 3 as well. Wait, that makes no sense. This is not centered. Oh, I see. 11, 5, 6, 3. Six, 3. That's a little bizarre. 23, 18, 5, 0, 7, 5. Okay, and Z will be... Oh, that's just the height of the actual floor. All right, let's move this into place. That's weird. I've never had problems with something like this actually failing to get centered on an object. It's probably because I am... Oh, no. It's not because of that. Okay. Let's get Y a little bit inside. Looks like we have. Yeah, we're definitely fine there. Let's move X in. Okay, should be inside the walls. I think we're good. Now we just need to bend this and place this where it needs to go. Edit mode. No, I don't want the edge, I want the top face. There we go. Loop cut, enter, and now we can grab that top edge and align it with the top of this. I'm not necessarily going for a perfect placement, I just want it to be somewhere where the weather gets excluded. And we'll grab both of these edges and move them up as well. Sweetie, it's okay. All right, let's lift these up. Okay, there we are. I can probably put the roof back on and see what it looks like on the inside. Okay, I think we've got a fairly good amount of coverage here. Maybe just a touch higher. Or yeah, I'm gonna have to get rid of the roof. Where's that roof? Right there. All right. A little bit higher. Is it that big a deal to me? Kind of. I do feel there's a difference between understanding your limitations and your understanding how whether or not wait, what's the phrase I'm looking for? There is a difference between your limitations and your current skill level versus whether or not you're actually going to make something look good. That's what I guess I was trying to say before. All right, let's put the roof back on, and now we can save that. All right, and quick peek down below. Now we have exclusion blobs in place for all three buildings, and there we go. Okay. Once again, save and export. It's not going to make much of a difference inside of the sim, except that there will be a weather exclusion polygon in place now for the surface hangar, which is a smaller one. And then rain and snow will hopefully be prevented from going through. All right, 5:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Dropping it in. Yeah, again, no big. Okay. What do I want to do? It's just about 5:06 p.m. I don't know if I want to do a flight today. I can just as easily keep trucking on. We can add some texture to this building, and I can find or try to find some good PBR materials so that you guys can see what this looks like. Kinda, sorta, a very rough draft. And then I think I might actually add some lighting. Maybe not lighting today, but give me a moment, folks. Let me go ahead and stretch my legs a bit, and when I come back, we'll make our decision. Stand by one. All right, friends, thanks for your patience. I have returned. I brought some snacks with me, some nice sugary and salty snacks as well. Some leftovers from the weekend festivities. Like I said before, I went to go see my family, and when we came back, before we went to go spend more time with them, I with more family, my wife and I got in the kitchen and whipped up some basically some, I guess, holiday treats is the best way to call them. Pretzels with melted Rolo candies and M&Ms on top, which was great. They were well received, and we had plenty left over. It's about 5:13 p.m. right now. I'm gonna make a command decision. I have to decide whether or not I want to keep doing scenery dev or do a flight. I don't feel like doing a whole bunch of landings, and I don't feel like doing a different thing. Like I might play Art of Rally later tonight, but that's not something I'm gonna do on stream. What I might be interested in doing is seeing how these things look with different colors of metallic material on top. The only thing that wouldn't have metallic material would be the center charter terminal, the smaller piece of these three buildings. So, if there's anybody in chat, let me know if you're curious and you want to see what this looks like with some textures on it, or if you feel that I should fly. I'll do either. It might take me a few minutes to get my senior sim reset and ready for a flight, but we'll do a really quick flight from like maybe, I don't know, uh, Providence to Albany or something like that, really fast. Or it could be anywhere in the world per se. Right now, I feel like continuing scenery dev, but if you folks want me to fly, just let me know. And I am sipping some coffee as well, so that will revitalize me for a little bit more. I don't drink much more, but I don't drink much less of coffee. Oof, these sweets are too good. I gotta put them down. All right, so no one said anything, so that means the decision falls to me, and I decide we're gonna do a little bit more scenery dev. I might do some flights later with some friends, but I'm not gonna stress about it. So let's add some texture to this building and see what it looks like. The satellite imagery for this place has a kind of like silver or white top for the roof and red, red, red walls. I don't know if those red walls are pure metal or not, but we're going to make them metal for right now, which means we're going to go back to Blender and see what we can do. Let me go ahead and choose, and there we go. There's Blender. Let's go back. All right, so I need to copy some textures into position. I have a folder that has a bunch of materials that we can use, and I'm going to need the metal textures that I normally work with, along with some wood textures for the main terminal. But one thing at a time. Let's go into, where was it? There we go. Go into scenery. Oh, excuse me, not there. Right. Metal for the roof. And that's all we need for right now. So let's go ahead and copy that into the folder where the materials are. We'll start, and we will start covering this up. Welcome back, Aeroflyer. Glad to have you. We're about to apply some textures to this building, make it look interesting. And I just snuck some more Christmas candy. Okay. So you might hear some dings. Just my phone that's not silent anymore. Okay. Which one's the bigger one? This one for sure. Okay. Let's take it one at a time. We're going to create a material for this and call it um, service hanger wall. Now we're going to grab a standard material and we're going to add an albedo texture, which I believe is color. Actually, no, that's not it. Oh, also, I need to go into UV editing mode. I don't think it's color. I think it's something else. Really? What? Okay, I'm confused. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Try it again. There we go. Let's do... Oh, that's because I'm in the wrong spot. No wonder I was confused. Let's try AO. That's what it was. Okay. Rotate this 90 degrees. That's better. And eventually we're going to cut into this and create a hanger door as well. But right now I'm just creating walls. Okay, choose them all. Actually, which one of these two? Just these two. Scale. So how many do I want? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, stop. 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. That's good. At least I think it is. That's what we'll roll with. And we'll add the roughness texture and the normal. There we go. That's what makes that texture look three-dimensional. The application of a normal to it. All right, now, this is where it gets really interesting. We're going to apply a color filter to it. Bam. It's red. It's really red. Okay. Can we do a bit better? Let's keep it red, but make it a slightly more faded red. Like 0.1 there and 0.1 there. It still looks red, but it looks like more weathered, more worn out than a really intense red. So we'll keep it that way, and I am going to eventually I'm going to probably do this on the inside as well too. So you want to know what? Let's go ahead and select all the actual textures, and Actually, let's pick these ones. These walls. These guys, and scale them up to, I guess, the same height. Ah, that's where it gets tricky. Okay, that's fine. I know what I'm doing. I think. So scale, that's the ticket. So scale is probably going to be about 25, 25, 26. It's about 26. Okay, that's how I know. We'll apply the materials again, and we will add the color back in. And now we're going to apply the color. Excuse me, come on. Yeah, 0.1 and 0.1. All right. Okay, so inside is the same, but again, remember, picture this with a opening, a hangar door. Whether or not it's going to slide open or lift up, I don't know. I haven't decided. I haven't decided if any of the buildings in my scenery are going to be animated for this one. They might be. They probably will be. But I need some time. That is a nice color. And now that we have this selected, all I have to do is apply it to the other walls. It doesn't get you out of having to position the textures properly. So that's something you have to do yourself. But I am okay with it. And it has a metallic application to it in terms of colors or color themes. I don't know. All right, let's scale it. Oh, excuse me. First, I want to rotate it. 90. Oh, why is it not working? Why are you not working? Because I pressed E instead of R. Silly digi. Okay, scale to 25. That's what I said before, roughly. 26 and change. Yeah, there we go. And blammo. Somewhat consistent. Yeah, nice cheap way to basically figure out the way something should look. I like this. It's very nice. Right, scale to about 25. Knowing your numbers when you're scaling things in Blender is a great kind of like, I guess, sanity preserver. So I'm okay with that. Now, do I want to separate the roof fascia from the top of the roof so that I'm only dealing with one slab? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Not going to worry about it right now. So we'll just pick the roof and we will apply a different material to it. So service hanger roof instead. Service hanger roof. All right. Yep. And actually, yeah, we have backface culling for that. Great. Backface culling for this. Now, here's a question. Nope, that's what I want. At least I think that's what I want. Because backface culling would mean we wouldn't be drawing stuff on the inside of the polygon. Yeah, I like what I see so far. And we're going to pick the texture again. It's going to be the same texture, but it's going to be different color. And AO. So from the air, yeah, that's what we want. We want the textures like that. And scale them to 25 or 26-ish. There we go. And occlusion and normal. Bam. All right. Do we want this any more silver than what it is right now? This is pretty white. Maybe we can bring it down a touch. That's black. And I think like 0.85 might actually work. Like a very weathered white. And that's not too shabby. You know what? Let's take a look at it in the sim, see how it looks. So we will go ahead, save this, export it, and you will see what it looks like in just a bit. Now that we have textures though, I need to do something. I need to actually put those textures in the texture build folder that we're going to use. So I need to go ahead and put it in the texture folder. And export it again. And before I do, oh wait, where was it? That's the texture folder. Oh, interesting. Let's go back into the files that I have. Nope, just 3. Just 3, Digi, come on. Okay, those metal textures are there. So I can dump the files in, observe, and voila. MSEB, joyeux Noël, mon ami. Bonsoir, or bonne nuit in this case. Welcome aboard. We are messing around with scenery development. And this is basically what the representation of my work is. I need to build a face. I need to actually create a door for the polygon, for the hangar. So you could taxi the plane into like a service bay. But I like this color a lot. This is wonderful. Dude, that's pretty good. I like it. MSEP is another one of my my friends here on chat. Folks, if you haven't already done so, please do yourself a favor. Go follow MSEP. MSEP does do the occasional flight sim stream. You may want to stop in and say hello, because I have, and they're nice streams to listen to. By all means, my friend, welcome aboard. So, we have just finished texturing that. What do you say we texture the rest of them and see how this looks? And again, this is basically just a little preview for you guys. I'll keep working on this throughout the week, but stand by. Sorry for the delay, friends. My cat was at the door and wanted to be let in, so I did. Well, MSEP, I can say this much. I'm not affected by the storm anymore. On Friday, I was streaming and the power went out. So there's a point at the stream where it just completely just stopped. No buy, no raid. It's just I stopped streaming because I lost power. So I wound up being without power for some hours, but thankfully, praise God, the power did come back on. So it's a thing. It's a thing. It happened. It didn't stop me from visiting family, and I did get to visit family, and I did get to eat a lot of yummy food. So we're in Blender right now. I need to apply some textures. Come on, AG, quit being lazy. Let's go. All right, so can I duplicate this texture? The roof texture, I wonder? I know what it looks like, so to speak, so let's just go ahead and do that. We're going to use this and say main hanger roof or roof. And we're going to pick the material, same material. We've just been having fun with different colors, different expressions of the same color. All right, scale this to about 25, 26. And now we're going to color it the same way we did the other one. So 0.85 for everybody. And then we're going to apply occlusion and normal. I'm using an OpenGL normal. And if you take a look at it, the way the light plays off of these textures, you would think they're three-dimensional. They're actually two-dimensional textures, but the mathematics that are being applied to them makes them look like 3D, which is a great savings, so you're not rendering as many polygons, and it looks really neat. Okay, so now this is service hanger wall. I could probably do the same thing and just say service hanger wall. I don't have to create a whole bunch of different materials for that. I probably didn't have to create a material for the roof, but that's fine. Now, let's go ahead and select all the textures, rotate them 90 degrees. You guys know. You guys know. Scale to about 26. Bam. This is a really quick way to be able to give you an idea, a preview of what this is going to look like once it's done. Okay. I'm glad I chose to continue doing scenery dev today. It's not that I don't like flying anymore in Flight Sim. I do, but I don't know if you guys can relate. I feel like I've become more mission oriented with regards to creating airport sceneries. And I am very much into this journey that I've been on. I think I dream of the idea of possibly turning this into a full-time job. And no, I'm not pretending it's going to be an easy jaunt, but I would be interested to see if I have what it takes to do this full-time. We'll see. And 26, right about, I'd say right about there. Yeah, right about there is fine. Sweet. All right. So we've got that building textured, and now we can move on to you. All right, now Let's take a look at what the satellite imagery looks like. Okay, I think that roof has shingles on it. Oh, dude. Did, wait, there are pictures. That's great. Okay, 8 photos. Oh, I now know what the interior of this building looks like. Oh man, Eric's gonna be so happy when he sees this. Okay, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, look. I now can see the interior of this building. So, that's the main entrance and exit, and that's the outside. Ooh, that's a really good sign too. FBO on 123.3. I guess that's basically what the that's that wouldn't be the CTAF frequency for the airport, but I guess you would communicate with home base there. Okay, I'm not interested in the folks that are there. I just want to see where people actually exit. It doesn't look like people actually exit out the back. It looks like you have to go down one of these halls to get to a hangar. This is really cool. This is substantially cooler than I thought. It's gonna be I'm gonna have to spend some more polygons rendering all this, but I might do that at least in passing. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. This definitely makes me happy about the project. Eric, if you're watching, I'm gonna try to incorporate some of those details into the build. But in the meantime, we still got a little bit of time before I'm wrapped up for today. So let's go ahead and have some fun. I'm going to look for some textures because I need to see textures for roof shingles. Do I even have roof shingles? Hold on. Stand by one. FS Design Tools, Light Work. Where are my textures? Model textures. There we go. Floor metals. It's not a metal thing. Synthetic. No. So, not synthetic. I'm going through my files right now. MSEP, have a great rest of your evening and take care. God bless you. I need to find roof shingles. Don't I have them? We'll see. I don't think so. I don't think so. I need to go to, what is it? Texture can, corrugated sheet, and wood. No, not wood. I need shingles. Clip Safari? No. Ambient CG? No. No, no, no. Ambient CG will come in handy for the... Oh, this doesn't have drop ceiling. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. But let me go to texturecan.com really fast. If I can find a roof shingle texture in the next, like, maybe minute to 2 minutes, I'll implement it. And matter of fact, I will show you what I'm doing. All right, so we're on texturecan.com. I'm looking for PBR textures that I can use. And I want to find, not an abandoned office. I want to find, oh, there we go. There we go. Square asphalt rooftop texture. All right, let's take a look at the building again. The square texture actually might work well with a rather uneven surface. Moss and dirt. Let's see. That looks pretty good, actually. I might use the first one, but we'll see what else is here. Building facade. That's not bad. That's ceiling tiles. And nope, nope. I think we're gonna go with the first or the second option, which is the square asphalt rooftop texture. So there we go. Now you guys have an idea of what I'm gonna apply. Let's download that real fast. We're gonna use I think we're gonna use a 2K map so that we don't actually overwhelm the VRAM. Okay, and I'm gonna double check the licensing for this. I should be able to use it. Yep, so no credit or attribution is required while using textures, which means I can use this for business purposes. The textures are royalty free. They have no fleas, and they're royalty free. All textures provided are free. They're royalty free. They can be used for any purpose, including commercial use. There we go. Great. I just downloaded the texture. Let's go ahead and put that in the texture can folder that I have on my thing. Let's make a directory. Okay, grab the directory. We're going to put it into place and texture can. There is a texture, and I'm going to go ahead and copy this because I want to use this. I want to use this in my thing. We'll need to preview. And we're going to go ahead and copy it into our folder. Bingo. Okay, great. Sorry for the delay, folks. Let's have some fun. Material, we'll call this Charter Terminal Roof. And we're going to apply a material texture to it. Standard. And we're going to go for that texture we just downloaded, which is rooftop. I think it's roof. There we go. AO. Now, what is this? Terminal floor, roof, walls. Let's get rid of the roof texture there. Terminal roof, terminal floor. Yeah, that's fine. Terminal floor. Roof has texture. Okay, great. Now, I want this to be rotated 90 degrees. There we are. And scale it to probably at least 25. Oh, is that too much? I wonder. That could be too much. Stand by. The shingles are going to be different. But I tell you what, I don't know if I want to go much further than 15 or 20. 16 might be good. Yeah, that might work. All right. So I need to put the rest of the materials into place. Occlusion, or in this case, roughness. And then normal is going to be normal OpenGL. Okay. And now we have shingles there. Okay. They're going to be a very dark gray. So we'll do 125 for now, or 124. Let's see what it looks like IRL. Yeah, it's a dark gray. No doubt. Zero doubt. It's gonna be a dark gray. So it's weathered too. too. This looks brand new, but this is, this is just a quick thing that we're throwing together. I like that color. Yeah, so it's a nice mix. Maybe we can double it and see what happens. Roughly doubled, it looks actually more realistic. Yeah. Might have to lower this roof as well. It does seem like it's really high, but we'll see what it looks like when the furniture's in place. Sometimes you render buildings and you don't really get a sense for the size or the dimensions of the building until you actually start putting objects into it. And then I think it becomes apparent, oh, this needs to be shortened or stretched or that or the other. So, doing the best we can. It is nice though. What I need now is probably some more wooden shingles. So I'm probably going to put some wooden shingles here on this side. And again, this is going to look kind of weird, but now we're going to... All right, now we're going to put a different texture on the outside than we will on the inside. So this is where things get really interesting. So, do I want charter terminal roof? I don't think so. I want a slightly different material. So we're going to create a new material. We'll say charter terminal wall. And we're going to have different textures for the outside than for the inside. We're going to start with one texture that wraps everything, and then we're going to have different textures inside. You'll see what I mean in a bit if I remember how to do this right. So I'm going to use the same rooftop texture, but it's going to be for the siding. And we're going to scale this to probably about... Oh, you know what? Hold on, I can't scale it. I got to rotate it first. Was it 8? 90-degree rotation, scale. Am I missing something? That is interesting. Oh, wow. This texture is actually squashed. Let me get the actual points out of it. Yeah, see what I mean? That's weird. Every once in a while, you have to kind of play around with the polygons or the shapes because they don't come out the way you want them to. That's weird. So, how big are these going to be? Actually, it's not that bad. Let me do something. We're going to grab these points and move them in unison. I want to see what the effect is. I see. Okay. So about 2.5 gets us this. And if you take a look at the building for comparison, it's not too bad. It's not weathered, but again, I'm doing the best I can with the materials and the know-how that I have. In future, we'll definitely be able to crack into more detailed, looks, if you will. So what's left is to apply the same kind of roughness and normals. And then what we can do is we can make sure that we are applying an appropriate color. Now, these are not going to be metallic, so we can get rid of the metallic qualifier. Quite the opposite. So these are going to be almost like 100% rough, no clear coat at all, and 100% rough, no clear coat, and there we are. Terminal wall. And what are we doing next? Oh, of course, the color. So you adjust color here, and we had like 0.24 before. We might go a little bit brighter for this, probably like 0.3, 0.4, 0.45 even, just about. Okay, this is just a very, very, very rough idea, but you guys are getting the picture. You're getting the idea. Okay, this needs to be adjusted. That's the, what, the weather exclusion? No, we don't want that. We want the walls. There we go. That's the wall I want to adjust. And that's the wall that has the issues with the vertices, which need to be stretched out. A little weird, but if you know what you're looking for, you don't have to run into major headaches. Now, let me see what the other side looks like. Okay, they're pretty... Actually, you know what? Hold on. Can I actually take these dimensions and apply them? What does this look like? Really? It's not letting me actually pick that? There we go. UV map. Okay, unfortunately, I'm going to have to eyeball this. So, I guess you could say it is what it is. But we're going to take these vertices and do what we can with them. Oh, thank you. Thank you for reminding me. There we go. Okay, now, does this actually look good? Still looks a bit big. These should be sufficiently smushed. They need to be a bit skinnier. Let's see. They're pretty close. They're pretty close. What if I picked everyone? Great. Now I have a really good idea of what I need to adjust. Okay, so let's take both these edges and bring them down. Like, I'm okay with a little bit of inconsistency. It means a human being made the scenery. That solves many of my problems right there. That's great. Okay. The difference in color could be due to shading or lack thereof. All right, the roof. Let's try making this even darker. Really though? Yeah, I guess so. We'll adjust it to around 0.124 again. And this needs to be, these are walls, right? Yeah. So we'll make the walls, the outside of the walls, be an albedo texture of probably about 0.615. Okay. Those shingles look a little bit like bricks, but I think it's the orientation. The building has them kind of pointing down. These almost point up, but again, I'm not worried about that. But there we go. That is the essential prototype of what these buildings are going to resemble once they're done. And if we come back to the layout mode and we take a picture of all this and export it, you will see what they look like in the sim. I'm happy. This is actually a pretty good jump off point. I'm going to go ahead and copy this down and we're going to see what it looks like. Oh, yeah, good point. First, I need to put this in the textures folder because I forgot. And we're going to go back into that building area. I want to make sure they render properly. Just a moment, folks. Just a moment. All right, we're going to copy the rooftop textures to the output folder area because we need to. And now I can copy the other files out. And there we go, copying. Ooh, got a problem. The rooftop texture thing failed to copy through, so I see this bright purple. That's not what I want. Okay, this is, I'll show you. This is not what you want to have happen. We need to get that texture back. So, what I think happened was the texture needs to be incorporated into the build. So, how do I do this? I think what needs to happen is I need to do a build all. And if the build all goes through without an error, then I can probably export it one more time and have that texture show up. I shouldn't have to shut off the sim to do it. Oop, there's one error. What is the error? File type JPEG. Oh, hold on. Hold on. What did I copy? Did I copy something I wasn't supposed to? Let's go to the texture folder. There are color and ambient occlusion files that are JPEGs, so I'm not sure why it's complaining. Let me look. For file type JPEG. Oh, maybe, no. If it was okay with the texture being there, I wouldn't have complained about it existing. So what am I missing? I may have to close the sim. I definitely want to get past this problem. I want this to show up nicely. So tell you what, folks, sit tight. I'm going to exit the sim because I think it needs to actually do a build a certain way. I'm going to close the project, and hopefully in the next like 5-10 minutes, I should be able to get everything to show up again. And once I exit the sim, I can do the old-fashioned way of building the materials, which means I'll be able to apply more control to the build process. And we'll see if the individual build modes are broken. Stand by. Oh, okay. That's weird. Everything built. A little strange that nothing failed this time, but okay. All right, I'm going to go back into the sim and we're going to try to see it again. Oof. All right. For those of you still with me, thank you for tuning in today. I have put down some prototype textures and shapes for the Alpha 1 flight services building for the Plymouth Municipal Airport scenery that I'm trying to release next year for MSFS. But I think I can also apply these objects to X-Plane 12 as well if I wanted to release the airport there too. So we'll see what happens. I would like to be able to develop sceneries for X-Plane 12 as well as MSFS. The process is not extremely labor intensive, but it does take time, it does take effort, and while cashing in on that is not my first priority, if we're talking about this from a simple, straightforward business perspective, at some point, I'm going to need to be able to create sustainable income required to turn this into a full-time job. Now, you don't have to do a thing, and at the same time, I am dependent upon you. If and when I do release this airport, I don't want to release it for an exorbitant fee. It's probably going to wind up releasing for somewhere between $8 to $10 USD. I don't know what that translates to in euros. It's probably going to be closer to like 8 euros or something like that, maybe 9. But I am trying to create something or get something done with this to turn it into a bit more than a hobby that, occasionally gives me some change. I would like this to be something I do. Whether or not I'll be able to do it full time does again depend on what I can do and how I can create the necessary airports and sceneries. It will take me a while, but I do want to create this airport. I want to finish Kissimmee. I want to finish the passenger terminal. I promised my friend Sticky Rice, and I do want to follow through on that promise for Victor Delta Sierra Romeo. And I want to create some more airports. A bunch more. I have a very big list, and it's going to take me a while to render them, but it's not impossible to. I do need time, and I do need some support. If you're interested, and this is a big if, you can check me out on buymeacoffee.com/digi123. That's DIGI123. And I'm also taking donations through basically my Stream account. And I think the donate link in my channel page takes you there. I appreciate your support, but at the same time, I'll go ahead and say it is not absolutely 1000% required. I appreciate having you on board, but if you can find it in your heart to provide a little bit of funding, that would be beautiful. It's up to you. And honestly, if all you want to do is come alongside and watch the journey, that's great as well. I wonder why this isn't showing up. Oh, because it's underneath. Yeah, see, it's still there. But it's there because I did not... What am I saying? I did not apply the changes. I built the file, but I did not apply the latest export. There is a flatten that I did to this polygon to make it sit well. Where is the... Oh, it's right there. All right, give me a minute. Interesting. I didn't apply a bottom texture yet. But that's okay. Now, let's see if the purple texture issue goes away when I actually export the textures again. Now they should be in the sim. If they don't show up, I think I know why. In GLTF XML, let's copy them to the folder. Okay, no, they're not showing up. And I think that's because I have to get rid of the actual object, place it back, and I think the rendered object, the new rendered object, will have its issue fixed. So we get rid of it, and I'm going to go to my scenery library, which you can't see because you're not seeing what I'm seeing, and go back to Plymouth, pick the Alpha 1 building. Yeah, we still got a problem with the render, don't know why. So let me take a look at the render inside of Blender again. Okay. All right, everything's been chosen. I want to see if anything shows up that means it's incorrect or wrong. Right, I'll copy all the textures to the texture folder, ignore description. I fixed this problem once before. I forget exactly what happened. And I'll copy these textures over to the texture folder in the output. Textures are copied. And if I take a look inside the sim, did it mess anything else up? Doesn't look like it, no. So that's good. That's good. All right, texture in the model lib, go to there. Texture in the assets folder, go back here. Okay. Save. Export. Export again. I'll double check my options. Yeah. Okay. So that's good. And now I'm going to close the sim again since I got rid of the building. Save the scenery. Do a build. I'm going to do another build. Oh, I should have gotten rid of the actual model. Oops. Two errors this time. Okay, reloaded and implemented. That's fine, I think. Okay, actually, I'm curious. I want to know why it actually had a problem. I am confused, but I want to figure this out really quickly. So we have AO, color, height, normal, OpenGL, roughness. I don't see anything in the texture folder that shouldn't be there. That's a little strange. Mr. P222, friend, it has been a while. Merry Christmas to you. Happy Boxing Day. Hope that you and yours are very well today. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not already done so, feel free to go check out my friend, Mr. P222. A good friend and actually one of the super friends. Hopefully you're having a very, 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 very good morning so far. I know the end of the year is coming up really fast, and you're a day ahead of me already. Hopefully you are well. We are creating scenery, friend. I'm trying to create scenery for airports now in the sim. But I'm having some difficulty, and I'm trying to figure out why I'm having a problem. So let me see. I got rid of the object that I'm trying to render, and I'm going to exit the sim again. And we're going to try to do this again. Again, 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 again. You're trying to get GSX working. Okay, okay. I haven't purchased it yet. I think I might be waiting for them to work some more of the kinks out. But I tell you what, the community's kind of rallied around GSX if for no other reason than to create profiles for airports so that when you actually go to an airport in the sim, the GSX people behave nicely. So I'm interested to see how it works out. Trying to rebuild everything right now. You don't see much right now, folks. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so the first build worked. Now, can I do something to affect the build otherwise? I don't know. I'm going to get rid of the textures that I have, and I'm going to remake them. Okay, so now there are no textures here at all. And I'm going to save the buildings as they stand, export them into the sim, re-render them, and then we're going to see whether or not there's a difference. GLTF, XML. We're going to copy them into the destination folder. Bam. And let me get rid of the rooftop textures. And now I should probably be able to do a render where nothing's affected. All right, because I'm really curious now. Really curious. Let's see if anything crashes. Okay, GLTF. Okay, so The outside of sim build succeeded. So I don't know why it's still rendering. There we go. All right. I'm going to jump back into the sim now, and we're going to see whether or not that part still shows up with purpley textures. If it does, it does. Like, I'm not going to stress out about it. We can either find a different texture to use, or we can just ignore it. I mean, you can't ignore a bright purple, like glow in the dark texture, but I mean, we can try to ignore the problem and I can try to fix it off stream. But let me take like another 5 minutes and give it a crack. Hopefully I'll be able to fix this so you guys can see the rest of the textures that I'm using. And hopefully we'll be able to finish the stream strong. Thanks again to everybody that's been tuning in today. I tried to stream this on Friday but lost power and I couldn't get back on until, it was like way late. So here I am again. Do I still do flights in Flight Sim? I do. They tend to be more rare than usual because I just like building airports now. But when I'm not doing that and I'm not flight simming, I'll either be playing Art of Rally or playing something else like games on GOG Galaxy, like goodoldgames.com. I like playing old computer games. And I still have some old consoles as well, but I don't know. Maybe I'll break those out this week to pass the time before I actually wrap up 2022. In 2023, I would like to go in way more hardcore on scenery dev if I can get past the issues I'm having with this, I don't know, this build right now. We will see. I think this is Monument Valley. I think. All right, great. We're back in the sim. Let's go ahead and reload. And I sincerely hope that this is actually going to work. If it looks good without the texture, then I might try one time to see what it looks like with it, and then we'll see whether or not we can finish strong. Okay, I got rid of it. We're going to go ahead and replace it again. And let's go ahead and grab it. Plymouth. We'll take the Alpha 1 building again. And there we go. Good, good. It at least shows up without the textures. It's not borked. And we can position it more or less where it should go. Okay, rotate it just a touch. And what is that, like right there? Yeah, that's good. All right, that's good. Now, can I actually incorporate additional textures without driving this thing completely crazy? I don't know. We're going to try it one time. All right, we're going to reincorporate those textures we were using before. So we're going to use rooftop. There we go. Add the roughness back into it. The normal. And this is non-metallic. And I'm not showing you what I'm doing again. Okay. Same thing. AO, and we're going to use roughness and an OpenGL normal. And bam. Okay, so now we have this here, and I'm going to take these textures and put them in the texture folder like I had them before. Unless they're already there. They are already there. Got it. They're also inside the main folder. Alright, we're going to save, we're going to export, and hopefully this fixes the problem. I hope so. Alright, so now, do I want to render everything again? I might have to. I don't know. But let's just move really fast and see what happens. Model lip texture. Okay, 1824, that's just now. So clear all. And we're going to copy the main build files. Now, probably purple. And let's see if the rebuild changes that. Okay, no errors this time. All right. Now, let's copy those files again, or just export it one more time. It would be so cool if it worked. Copying. No, it didn't. The textures are there, so something is happening between me rendering it and trying to rebuild it. So, I'm going to keep the data for exactly where this was placed. Oh no, that's not, that's the wrong one. Hold on, stand by. Where are you? Okay. We're going to keep your information. And we're going to get rid of you again. Okay, so get rid of the file. Save it. Build it. I'm actually going to get rid of everything now. I forgot to do something. I'm going to get rid of everything inside the folder. Exit the sim. Not in that order. But we don't have any errors again. I'm going to exit the sim and we're going to try it again. And if I do it correctly, the way it comes out should be good. Hoping it works. Okay. So we're back to here, and I'm actually going to get rid of the folder totally. So remove the files. Remove the building area, or remove everything inside that folder. Dumping it back in. All I want is the other files. There we go. Where are you? Good, good. Bin GLTF XML. And one thing I didn't bother checking was to see whether or not it rendered properly. Okay, in the 3D viewer inside of Windows, I do see the textures on it, so it's not like they're not there. Okay. Now I can take the textures out of here and put them in the textures folder. Textures are replaced, and Alpha 1 building area. And now we can get rid of the textures overall. And I'm going to copy these files again, export this again. Oh, yeah, that's something else that I forgot to check. Copy the textures over from here, back into the texture folder where I export everything. And now I have this set. We're going to export one more time. Export's been made. And we're going to copy it into place. Textures are in place too, and we're going to rebuild this outside the sim, and hopefully that means that everything will render properly. I hope. Okay, there we go. I just saw it grabbed a couple things. That is promising. Yeah, that's good. That's good. It even closed itself. Great. Wonderful. That's progress. That's progress, chat. All right. So, now hopefully that will render, and you guys will be able to see the finished prototype, and I will be able to not see bright purple anymore. But we'll see. I still have about 15 minutes of music left. Good stuff, good stuff. Good. I will be able to hopefully display this nicely in the sim and then wrap up for today, spend some time with family, and then prep for the rest of the week. It's amazing how quickly this year went by. At the beginning of this year, I was just messing around with, P3D and MSFS and a little bit of X-Plane and trying to flight sim and not really sure what I wanted to do. And like 9, 10 months later, I've transitioned into actually selling scenery, and I want to see what else I can do. Complete Freedom, I'm trying to fix a texture problem with the Alpha 1 Flight Services building at Plymouth Municipal Airport. That is Kilo Papa Yankee Mike. Let's go ahead and load in and add that texture, add that object back in, excuse me, and see if it works. All right, now I should be able to get this done in the next, like, maybe a few minutes. hopefully. All right, back in we go. And do the project editor, load KPYM. We have finished rendering the scenery, the objects. And I think now we should be fine. All right, wonderful. Now, back to scenery objects, and we're going to go ahead and check for our building. All I want is the Alpha 1 building. Boom. Yay! Look at that, it's fixed. And I'm going to take a look at my object for placements. It's 41,909,582 and minus 70, 733,053. And the last one was rotation, which was 43,413,776. Excuse me, 434,413,776. Oh, it's not moving. Weird. But that's okay. This is a rough idea of what the Alpha 1 Flight Services building will look like once it's complete. And that's not too shabby. There we go. That's wonderful. Move this into West Hanger Assets and bammo. Save and build. There we go. So I know now going forward if I'm going to add additional textures to a building that exists in the sim, I think I'm going to have to at a minimum exit the sim, because changing the polygon shape is one thing, but adding additional materials to it is something else. So from an extremely rough perspective, if you take a look at the satellite image, or was it? Yeah, if you take a look at the satellite image versus what we have, then not too bad. Not too bad for a first time. And we have just finished building it, building the prototype per se. Folks, I think that's going to call it for today. I am going to see who else is available, although I'm pretty sure I know who's available. Hee. We're going to hand you folks off for a raid, and then we're going to head off. I'm pleased with the progress we've made so far. I'm happy. Now we're going to go ahead and send you guys over to my very, very good friend, Complete Freedom. All right, so we'll set up the raid right now. Everyone, have a great, great rest of your 2023. If I don't stream until next time the calendar year flips over, God bless you all. And like I always like to say, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace in your life, and that is Jesus Christ. Folks, take care. Stick around for the raid. We're going to go say hi to Complete Freedom. And that's pretty much how it goes. Have a great rest of your afternoon and evening, friends. And until next time, bye-bye.